Hey there. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. I am your host, Paulette Rees-Denis, here to bring you magic makers from around the globe, people who are creating change, who have small businesses, large businesses, hobbies, but they are creating the life of their dreams. And that, my friends, is what living is all about. So let us know how you like this episode. Please subscribe, and we'll see you there. Thanks for joining. Hello, my beautiful friends out in Heart and Hustle land. This is Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. I am your hostess with the mostest. Your magic maker, your movement motivator, Paulette Rees-Denis here, with another fabulous episode of Heart and Hustle. I love bringing you inspirators and magic makers and healers and entrepreneurs who are living their dreams. It's very important. And making change in the world, creating a better space for all of us. And so today I get to bring you, Sheevaun Moran is here with us today from Huntington Beach, California. And I'm in Palm Springs, if you didn't know that already. So we're not too far from each other, which is pretty awesome. And Sheevaun, welcome.
Thank you.
So glad. We've had a couple of rescheduling events, so I'm finally happy to have her here with us.
All in divine time.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. And Sheevaun does some beautiful work. She's an energy thought leader, which I love, and the founder of Energetic Solutions, which I can't wait to hear more about that. So why don't you just step right in and share what you are bringing to the world?
I love that you started the interview, the chat that we're having with magic and all kinds of things, because people always say what I do for them in their business, in their life, is I just wave my little magic dust around and things happen. And and it's true. I mean, I have a client that I've been working with. It's somewhat new, I guess about 6 months, and it's a bigger project than I usually work. And he said he and his wife were talking about the success of the business and the massive turnaround in the past 5 months. And he said, "Oh, do you think it's change?" Or she said, "Do you think it's, honey, do you think it's change management?" And he said to me, "Sheevaun, I know what you do, and I don't know anything what you do, but I know it's not change management. It's that woo thing that you do that is so magical for business."
It's that woo thing that you do.
Exactly.
And
right, this is a sizable business. And he said, "No, change management is very different." And he was trying to explain it to her, and I thought, yeah, good luck. So I think that's probably a good place to start. Is I'm actually I don't come from this world. I come from I was a coder when I was a kid. I had my first business at 11, mowing lawns, and I made good bank, man, and shoveling snow too. And then I sold that for a t-shirt. Never a good deal to do that, but it was my brother, so it was okay. And then I had another business at 15 that made way bigger bank. And I realized that it was really important to just hang out, because I didn't understand what I saw about people. They would say one thing, their energy would look different, they would do another thing, and then they'd go out and do something even more radical. My brain was very confused. I always say my brain was confused by humans. And it was the non-convergent, the non-alignment that all these people were doing. And then I'd get kind of interesting. Every party I would go to, I'd end up kind of backed into a corner, either sitting or standing, and I would have like 10 or 15 people around me asking me questions about how things worked. Good God, I'm only like 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. but everybody's asking me questions like I know all the answers. It was really interesting, thinking about that, because that idea that I've always understood energy in a different way
Mhm.
is something that is now not cool, but cooler than it was 20 years ago. And but it's definitely how I've helped many companies get built and sold, and I use this cool formula that I use, and then I'm able to help and teach others. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's really amazing. Amazing. And, we all have those gifts as young children, and you were able to stay connected with
I
yours.
didn't know any different. I didn't, my mom told me at 3, don't ever tell anybody. She said,
Oh,
never tell anybody. So I was like, all right, that sounds right. How would I know different? And I didn't make it wrong. I just didn't tell people. And then I find out, oh, not everybody has exactly the volume of things that I have. And it's pretty unique. And it took me a long time to figure that out. But it's the thing that is the formula that helps people succeed for sure.
mm, so good. And you've been doing this all your life.
I have, yeah. Even when I was coding, interestingly, I was having an interview with somebody, a week or so ago, and I was remembering something that I was solving a problem with a coding thing in the middle of the night. And I was like, I think it's this place on this page. I think it's this. And then I would come up with like a little area on the thing. And everybody was working at it differently to problem solve. And I was like, I think it's this. And I could never really prove how I knew it was that, until I figured out what I do and how I do it. But at the time, everybody just thought I was a lunatic, and I couldn't possibly be right. And so, yeah, I have been using it all my life for sure.
So that's really interesting because people think we're crazy
I
if we're
guess I
outside
never,
of the norm or the box or
I
what.
guess I never had people telling me I was crazy, fortunately.
Well, you just said lunatic, so that was made me think about lunatic.
I think I thought I was a lunatic.
Oh.
And I think they just thought they didn't understand. I just think I thought I was the lunatic, because I was like, I don't understand. How do you not see this? This is obvious to me.
Wow. Wow. And so how did you step into this part of your business then?
Yeah, long story, but pretty introverted, even though I had those two businesses when I was a kid. Decided to get into sales and marketing because I thought that was the way women could thrive and succeed. And it's true. And and then I moved to California, and the first company that I went to work for in California, there were like 10 or 12 of us, and we grew it into this giant company and got it sold to Rubbermaid. And I thought, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that again, because I got to use sales and marketing and energy stuff, even though I didn't call it energy stuff. And I got to do all kind and coding, and I got to do all kinds of things that I wouldn't have done otherwise. And so I did that 4 or 5 times with companies, and uh, got sick. I was helping build a pharmaceutical company. I got sick. I got misdiagnosed, and I ended up in the ER with sepsis, which is blood poisoning, which is usually lethal. And I remember laying there and thinking, yeah, okay, you're going to give me these drugs that I actually don't believe in.
Mhm.
That's cool. I get it. I need to take them because it's the only thing that's going to help me survive. But I'm not I'm not here just to die right now. I'm here for something. And I wasn't looking for what I was here for. I just knew that I wasn't supposed to die. And they said, oh, you're going to stay for 2 weeks. I said, absolutely not. People die here. I'm going home. I'm going to heal myself. I didn't know what that meant. I really had zero clue what that
And
meant.
how
And
long
then
ago
I
was
got,
this? How old were you?
oh, I'm not really good with time. So I don't know. more than 15 years ago, I don't know. Time is weird for me. So
Okay.
it's been a while, but um, the fascinating thing that I did and said was, I'm going home and I'm going to heal myself. And I remember laying on my sofa, and I said, I'll take exactly what you say. I'm going to do this, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. And I'd never had a massage at that point. I never knew anything about chiropractic. I didn't know anything. And I remember laying there on my sofa, a bunch of people helping feed me and, walk my dog and take care of me and such like that, that I started to think, well, I must have something, or I wouldn't have been able to build these companies. If I can build companies, I can heal my body. That was my only thought that I had for 3 days straight. And I thought, if I can build companies, I can heal my body. Well, let's find out what that means. And me, my engineering brain says, yeah, I can figure this out. And I started to reverse engineer the stuff I'd been doing throughout my life that kept me healthy and kept me in a really different place than most of people. And it took me a couple months, but I healed myself. And I thought, I think I should probably learn a little bit about this. And so I took a class, and I remember sitting in the class thinking, oh, that's nice. That guy thinks he knows what he's talking about. And that's cool. I get it. But I just did this for myself, and he thinks I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm going to go home and let's just see if I can use this as a repeatable thing. Because, I'm a scientist. So it's like, if you can't repeat it, then it's not worth anything, basically.
Mm.
And so I kept repeating it and repeat it with my dad and repeat it and repeat it. And then I started a clinic. I was still helping businesses get built. I started one clinic, and then it became two, and then three, and then four, and then it just kept growing and growing. And people interviewing me, asking me stuff, all kinds of things kept happening, cool things. And started teaching it. And then I thought, okay, all of you people in business, I'm done. I'm gonna hide from all of y'all. I know I'm good at what I do. I'm gonna do this thing because this is important.
Mm.
It healed me, so I need to help a lot of people. And so I did that for a couple of years, and then a friend of mine called and said, Sheevaun, you're the only one who can help my company. And I'd always wanted to work with him. Just one of those yummy people. And he said, listen, we've been looking for you. I said, I know. Like, I've been in hiding,
Oh,
so
I'm
you
sorry.
couldn't
Hold
find
on.
me.
So sorry. I do not know how to turn that off, but I will take that out
All right.
of here.
That's all
I'm
right.
also
That's all right.
choking, so hold on one second. I need to get some more water. Hold that thought. I usually have my water right here with me. Oh. Okay.
Okay. So you ready?
Yep.
Okay. So I've been in hiding, and finally he said, I'll just, tell me what you want. And I thought, well, I'm just going to make it ludicrous. I'm going to make it a big number. I'm going to make it anything I feel like doing. If I don't feel like I was like making crap up. And he said, I want it. You're the only person who can turn this around. And I was like, oh, okay, now I got to do it. Right. And so I worked with them, I think 2 years, and I continued to do the teaching and all of the other things that I was doing about energy and healing and the stuff that I created. And the cool thing that happened is that company turned into UPS home delivery, which is kind of cool. And then I said, I'm out. And he said, oh, you're going to go do that wavy handcraft that you're doing that I love. And I was like, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So started doing that. And
That
then,
wavy handcraft.
yeah, that's what, it was the pharmaceutical industry. And was like, hey, can you do that thing that you do? Because they didn't care. They just knew that I could do a thing and it would make them feel better. So nobody cared, fortunately. I think because I'm so not serious about it.
Uh-huh.
I think that's probably why. Because they still, I still hang out and chats with them in LinkedIn, and like, hey, you still doing that wavy hand thingy? Hey, we'd like to hire you for a thing. I know, it's pretty funny. Um, but I think what happened next was I had a whole bunch of clients. Everyone kept telling me the same thing. we'd solve one problem, we'd solve an energy thing, and then we solve a health thing, and then we solve this other thing. But their money would always get exponentially better. And then one lady said to me, you took me from believing that I was a loser mom and my real estate stuff not selling for a couple years to all of a sudden I can't stop selling. Things won't not, I can't stop this train. And she said, you need to really think about what you're doing. I was like, think about what I'm doing. I thought, well, that kind of makes sense, because why would I be different than other people who do this, who are in this kind of space? And I started looking at my background and where I'd come from and what I'd done in business. I thought, oh, business and woo don't usually go together. And I'd been doing business and woo since I started. So I was driving down the freeway in Los Angeles one day, and I was like, well, I need a company name. We need to call it something. Let's call it something. And I was coming back from some giant meeting I was having. And I was like, well, I'm all about energy. Yeah, people know. Yeah, that's great. And I always give solutions, energetic solutions. And so that's how it all started.
Awesome. I love that. This is a great story. Great story. And so you've always pretty much worked for yourself or worked for these companies.
Yeah.
And using your gift. And see, and I love that, because I always say I mix the woo with the practical.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I approach my coaching and my life and my work. It's so good.
Yeah.
Because I need a little bit of both. And I think we all do. So tell me, tell me about your podcast.
Oh gosh. So I'm going to talk about podcasting for a cool, quick second. So because somebody had approached me, because I was in all of these news things and for a long time, and somebody said, oh, you should do a podcast. And I thought, and this is long before it was cool. You could probably still find it out there. And so it was on regular radio, 3 cities in the United States, as well as, how the podcast. So here's the really interesting thing that I had a hard time with in the beginning was, I was like, how do you talk to just nothing? How do you talk to just air, right? And I'm very interactive. And so I had to have my fiance sit across from me for the first 13 episodes.
So you can talk to somebody.
Exactly. And so I did 150 episodes of that. It was called Master Your Energy, Master Your Life. And it was long before it was cool, and that's fine. And I thought, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore. And so I thought I'd given up podcasting for a long time. And I have another company where we do the training of the energy stuff called Energy Mastery. We teach people how to master their energy. And my operations guy at the time said, we should do a podcast. And I was like, oh yeah, great, here we go. I said, listen, it's not going to be live. We're not going to do video. We're not, la. And it's going to be maximum 17 minutes. And he said, all right. And so we have a podcast for that. And then I do this other one that is born out of somebody sending me hate emails.
Whoa.
I have a lot of people who say weird things to me. And it just inspires me to share stuff. That's all. So thank you all. I mean, don't do it, but thank you. And the first one started because it was just a lot. It was a whole bunch of different, very negative things. And I remember I had my phone up in my car long before carpool karaoke, long before carpool karaoke got. And I have my phone up in my car while I'm driving back from a teaching that I was doing in Arizona. And I give this podcast, 5, 8, 10, 12 minutes, something like that. And all of a sudden, it took off. And I thought, what do you mean it took off? What the heck is that about? So 302 episodes later, about 3 to 7 minutes. And my clients tend to call it their benevolent butt kick.
Excellent. That's a great name.
Yeah. So, but the podcast is actually called Driving for Your Success.
And so all of those are done. Are they still in action?
Oh no, I still record them.
Oh, good. Oh, good, good, good.
I still record one every week.
Uh-huh.
And I'm grateful for other people who have ever sent nasty things because it has inspired me to help others. And I also get to share things that seem, I mean, when you can see in all of the energy stuff that I have, I really want to demythologize a lot of this stuff and make it super regular and practical to somebody's life and beingness out in life. And I'm pretty irreverent about it to be like, listen, this is just how we live, and here are some words for it. And here are some tools, and let's see if this gives you a lift up for your day or your week or your business or your sales.
Nice. I love that. So what do you do for yourself?
Oh gosh, a lot.
Good. Bring it. Bring it on.
Yeah, I mean, I have a policy. I don't talk to anybody before 10:30 in the morning. And I've done that since one of my first corporate things, interestingly enough. I think after I had a company I was helping grow, and we would have 6:30 a.m. meetings. I was like, yeah, we're never doing that again, ever, never. So yeah, I do physical things, meditate, exercise. I had a raw food company long before it was cool to have raw food. I was one of 9 raw food companies in the United States, so I'm pretty sophisticated about how the body and the energy and nutrients work in the body. And I get massages, acupuncture, you name it. I'm doing it right now. I'm kind of on a kick to do yoga twice a day, 3 times a week.
Awesome.
I laugh at myself because I say that because it's like, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what my purpose is yet on it, but I'm doing it. It's kicking my butt.
Good. Yes.
Yeah. But always something that's fit. During lockdown, I was walking 10 miles a day. Obviously meditate. I meditate probably more than most people. I'm probably meditate 2 or 3 times a day. It sounds like I don't have a whole lot of time, but I'm really good at energy and time and having that work for me. Yeah. And of course, I use my own practices. I better practice what I preach. And I'm very diligent about that.
Nice. Nice. That's always good. Always good. And I think the more self-care you do, the more time you have.
Yeah, it's kind of like the space in between your cells expands and you actually have more space and time. Kind of cool.
So good. So good. What's been hard?
Hard. I don't know if anything's been hard, but I would say the hardest thing is I had the death of my husband. That was kind of one of the catalysts for all of this. Without him having been gone, I'm certain I wouldn't be doing it like this at all. But that was hard.
How long ago was that?
Oh, long, again, time, it's a thing. It's a weird thing for me. Yesterday, it could be yesterday or it could be, it's really interesting with time for me. It's very different to talk about it, but hard things. I don't think things are hard per se, because I really know that if I can do what I've done up to this point, then I can do anything if I choose it. And it's just about what are the action steps I'm going to take in order to choose it. And maybe I'm gonna have to choose it a lot. I mean, what I think is easy, or it's on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being hardest, right? I think things are in the 3, 4, maybe 5 range, but everybody else would think all of those things that I think are the 3, 4, 5 range are like 9 and 10s. But it's really, I think it's most important, especially for people in the heart space, is to learn to stick with it. Really learn to stick with it. because it seems like you could really kind of get ungrounded and just waft around really easily.
Well, and that's, it comes to really believing in what you desire and knowing that's the right path for you. And yeah, sticking to it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
finding the way to bring it to manifestation, fruition. And sometimes it can be tomorrow, and sometimes it can be, a while from now.
okay.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah. So that's beautiful. Awesome. Well, Sheevaun, thank you.
Aw, thank you very much.
That's so
Thank you
good.
very much.
You guys out in Heart and Hustle Land, of course, I will connect you with all of her info so you can check out her podcast, Driving for Your Success, and her list and whatever, her work. If you have questions for me or for her, please feel free to contact us. I love it. I love bringing you the magic. I love bringing you these people who are living their dreams, bringing
Yeah,
their true gifts to the world.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. I don't. Who would have ever said we'd all be doing this right now? I love that more people are.
I know. It's so good. I love what I do. I love what I'm able to bring. And I love connecting with people like you who are doing what you love to bring, what you love to
Yeah,
do, and what you're here for, your purpose, and creating change and creating magic and helping others also bring their own magic to the world as well.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you everyone out in Heart and Hustle Land. Until we meet again, many blessings. Love you.